Hey, what's up, fam? If you've ever wondered whether or not your husband will cheat on you again, this right here is the video for you. My name is Ayize Ma'at, co-founder of Black Love and Marriage. My wife and I, we run this relationship education company where we specialize in helping couples overcome infidelity. If you've been wondering whether or not he's moving right, walking right, living right, and you want to be able to have some things that you can check to see whether or not he's in order or out of order, this right here is something that you want to watch. I'm going to give you 10 signs that your husband will cheat again. Buckle up, fam. This right here is going to equip you, but then also help you get to where you need to go in your life and in your relationship. Again, my name is Ayize Ma'at, and the way that I know that these signs right here that I'm about to share with you are on point is because we've been doing this work for some time. We've been helping couples for the past 14 years navigate these treacherous streets of infidelity. Not only have we helped couples, but we've also navigated these streets ourselves. So I have the lived experience, but I also have the experience of helping couples overcome infidelity as well. And so in terms of your husband cheating again, these are 10 signs that I want you to pay attention to. If you don't line up and measure up as it pertains to these 10 signs, then it's a warning sign for you. You need to make a decision, you need to move differently, and you need to encourage him to move differently. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the relationship, but what it is an indicator of is that he's out of order. He needs to get back in alignment if you all are expecting to heal and overcome this treacherous space of infidelity. The first thing I want to lift up is lack of accountability. I'm expressing this because what I've seen in the work that I do, when men come before me and indicate that like they're sorry and they apologize, but there's no real accountability, it's just words that are coming out of their mouth. But when it comes to deflecting, blaming, flipping the script, I wouldn't have cheated if you were so busy. If you would have gave me some booty, I wouldn't have stepped out. Again, this right here is placing the blame on you, and there's no real accountability for their actions. So if there's a lack of accountability, this right here is a sign that your husband will cheat again. It's a red flag, fam, and you want to make sure that you definitely pay attention. Number 2, there's no changed behavior, no genuine change in behavior. Please keep this in mind that when it comes to you engaging in your relationship, yes, you can have apology after apology and expectations and boundaries and parameters and rules, but changed behavior is not just about promises. It's not just about professing that you will never do it again. It's not just about saying like, I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry. No, it's bigger than that. Change behavior is about you curbing the things that you were doing before that led you to a place where you actually stepped out. And so if he's still doing the same stuff like hiding his phone, staying out late at night, engaging in old habits and patterns of behavior that seem suspicious, if he's still not prioritizing his relationship, that's an indicator that there is no changed behavior. And if there's an unwillingness on his part to change his behavior, this right here is a red flag. And it's an indicator, fam, that you want to make sure you pay attention to, that your husband may cheat on you again. Number 3, there's an unwillingness to set boundaries. An unwillingness to set boundaries. I've had to express this to a number of men. Dudes, for some reason, think that they can put themselves in positions, circumstances, and situations in which they're impervious to temptation. That they'll be able to navigate and move in a way in which they won't be subjected to the temptation and possibly even dabble here and there. Like they think they nice like that where they can dance in the water and not get wet. And I have to emphasize that you're not nice like that, fam. You cheated on your spouse. You cheated on your lady. You got to be able to move different and set clear boundaries when it comes to the folks that you were engaged in suspicious, scandalous acts with. One of the things that we lift up is that it's important that you actually cut those relationships off. If there's an unwillingness to set boundaries when it comes to that, that's a red flag, fam. And it's an indicator that he's likely to cheat again. If he's still texting his work wife, if he still got a work wife, then again, this is an inclination that, or an indicator that he may possibly still be dibbling and dabbling and maintaining some type of emotional tie to that person. It's not a good look. It's definitely not a good look. And so again, you want to make sure clear boundaries are set. And if they're not, it's a red flag. If he's unwilling to cut the relationship, it's a red flag. If he's unwilling to block the person, it's a red flag. I can't say it loud enough and clear enough. If he's unwilling to set these boundaries, it's a red flag. He's prioritizing protecting that relationship instead of protecting your relationship. Number 4, another indicator that he may cheat again is if he gets defensive when he's questioned. Defensive and angry when he's questioned. Sis, you're the person that's hurt. He betrayed you. The position that he should be moving in is a one of empathy. It's one of accountability. It's one of ownership. And it's one of sincere and genuine compassion. And so depending upon his upbringing, I get the fact that his go-to may be to become defensive and become angry because he doesn't like being in this position. But let's keep in mind, you didn't put him here. He put himself here. And so if he hasn't cultivated the tools or even acquired the tools to be able to navigate this uncomfortable space, if he's becoming defensive and angry and then placing the blame on you, if he's trying to shift responsibility and express that for some reason that this is your fault, if he becomes irate and wants to end the conversation immediately, if he doesn't want to go into detail because he's being questioned, then this is a red flag. It's a red flag. And so it does not mean that he can't get back in order, but what it's an indicator of is low and poor emotional regulation, which may possibly lead him to a place where because he's becoming defensive, because he's angry, he then acts out. And one of the ways in which he may act out is to ease the anger and the frustration by going back to where he shouldn't be going to. And so again, I want you to pay attention to if he becomes defensive and angry when you're asking questions, to try to get your need met, to try to get some genuine compassion, some support, because you're looking for a safe space. This is a red flag. And it's an indicator that he may possibly cheat again. So this is number 5, poor communication skills. Poor communication skills are definitely required, and they're the foundation of a healthy relationship. If he's having a difficult time expressing his wants, his needs, his desires, his hurts, his fears, his worries, if he's evasive and he's secretive when it comes to where he's going, who he's talking to, these poor communication skills actually provide a safe haven for him, a shelter to do the dirty deeds that he's been doing. And so if he's not willing to upgrade and expand his understanding about what healthy communication looks like, if he's comfortable with staying stuck with how he's been operating as it pertains to communication, then this right here is a red flag. He has to be willing to expand outside of his comfort zone, get new skills, be more inclusive instead of being exclusively isolated and wanting to make sure that he protects what's his and doesn't want to share with you. If he's not giving you access, if he's not letting you, again, see his phone, if he's not giving you passwords, if he's not understanding the position that he's put the relationship in and the pain that he's caused you, and he's not willing to be open when it comes to communication, and this includes his phone. It includes access to his phone. Then it's a red flag. And it's an indicator that he may cheat on you again. Number 6. If there's no effort to rebuild and trust, it's an indicator that he may cheat on you again. If there's a resistance to doing the things that need to be done, like giving you access to his phone, like giving you access to his location, like making you aware of his whereabouts, like making you aware of some of his associations, his friends, and the people that he's connecting with, making you aware of who he's going out with. If he's not curbing his behavior in a way in which he's going out less, then what is he doing to actually restore and rebuild trust? If he's unwilling to do some type of therapy, coaching, counseling, if he's not in any support groups when it comes to men, how is he actively pouring in himself so that he can learn new skills? And which helps to create a sense of safety in a relationship, because he's not just going to be moving from the same old bag that he's been moving from. He's now included some additional tools in his toolbox. And so as a result, he should be expanding as a man. If he's unwilling to do these things to rebuild trust, then it's a red flag. And the likelihood that he will cheat again is very, very, very high. Again, he's the same person, just simply professing that he's going to do something different. But if he's not doing something different to become a better man, then you got the same man just further down the timeline. Effort is required to rebuild trust. And if there's no effort, it's a red flag, and he's likely to cheat on you again. Number 7, if your man is engaged in patterns of deception, lying about small things, has deeper issues with honesty, lying about things that may not even be connected to infidelity, but just is hiding the truth, isn't fully transparent, he's likely to lie about the major things if he's lying about the minor things. This is a red flag, fam. Honesty is a non-negotiable when it comes to rebuilding trust. And if you find yourself in a relationship when you're questioning his integrity based off of the way that he's moving and he's constantly lying about these different things, it's a problem and it's a red flag. And so if he's talking about like he went to lunch and he talked on the phone for an extended period of time and you knew he was on the phone, but when you asked him about who he was talking to and he was like, I was just eating lunch with colleagues and I wasn't on the phone, then again, what is you lying for? What are you lying for? He brushes it off and he may consider it to be trivial, like, I need my space. You don't need to be all up in my business. But what I'm letting you know, sis, is that, again, these small things, even if he wasn't doing anything in the moment, it could possibly lead to something more major, because that behavior of dishonesty is not only for the minor things, it can become something major as well. It's a red flag, and it may possibly lead to him cheating on you again. Number 8, unresolved personal issues. If your husband got daddy issues, if your husband got mommy issues, if he dealt with issues around attachment, if he dealt with issues around abandonment, if he witnessed and saw relationships where there was no monogamy, no full commitment, no honoring each other, no integrity, then in some instances he may be mimicking what it is that he grew up under. And so he's emulating what it is that he saw and imitating what it is he believes to be correct. And unfortunately, again, if he doesn't do the deeper work to understand why that's not proper and appropriate for you all's relationship and why some of the pains that he may have experienced when he was younger is starting to, manifest in your current relationship, then he's going to keep on repeating the same old pattern. He has to do his personal work, And so he could actually have unresolved issues, and patterns of behavior that may revolve around not just witnessing poor relationship role models, but let's say he has developed, issues around addiction. And the addiction in and of itself leads to a place to where he becomes dishonest, not just as it pertains to the addiction, but also when it comes to being faithful to you in a relationship. If he has any substance use issues, these are things that need to be contended with. These are things that need to be paid attention to. And again, these are red flags. And so if he's not doing the work that needs to be done to address those things, then it's a strong likelihood that it'll filter into this area of you all's relationship. He's dealing with pain. He's dealing with hurt. And the hurt needs to be addressed. One of the ways in which he deals with the hurt is by stepping out. And so what we want to do is make sure we're looking at the patterns of behavior that were problematic, and that possibly lead to the infidelity. And some of those do include addictions. Some of those do include this desire to be at the center of attention, because you got a low sense of self and because you dealt with anxious or ambivalent attachment styles when you were growing up. And so as a result, like, you're trying to gravitate towards the applause. You're looking for the attention. You're trying to put yourself in a room or put yourself around people who are looking at you and who are affirming you. And sometimes that's coming from people that you don't need to be around because they want to move in a little bit closer and take advantage of the situation. And then you end up finding yourself like, damn, how did I get here? These are red flags. If he has unresolved personal issues and he's not doing the work, then it's likely that he will step out on you and cheat again. Number 9, if there's minimal emotional investment, this is a red flag. Now, he's likely to cheat on you as a result of this, because when you're dealing with infidelity, it rocks the relationship. It's almost akin to losing a loved one. The relationship is dead. There's a deep wound, a scar, a hurt. There's a hemorrhaging that I said hemorrhaging. There's a hemorrhaging that takes place in the relationship, and it lingers for a long time. And so you want to understand the impact of your behavior, and understand the impact of you moving in a way in which you're out of order, and get back in alignment with the way you should be moving to restore the relationship. And what this requires is emotional attunement. When you're emotionally attuned to your woman, you put yourself in a position where you're trying to create a safe space. You move in a way in which you're not as defensive. You're not angry when you're questioned, when you're asked simple things to help to reassure and provide a sense of safety in a relationship. When you have the emotional awareness, it requires energy. And the energy is what's needed to honor the commitment. That emotional investment, it says, I'm here. If that's not there, then the likelihood of him recovering or repairing so that you all can recover is very slim. He has to be invested in the recovery process. And a part of that investment is his emotional investment. He has to understand the impact. He has to be able to empathize with you. When that's not present, then who's to say he won't do it again? Because he does not know, and he's not attached to emotionally the pain that he caused you. If he can't emotionally attach to the pain, to the impact, not just to you, but to the family, then what's the reason for him not to do it again? What's the reason? And so, again, if there's no emotional investment, it's a red flag. And the likelihood that he will repeat is high. Number 10, repeat offender mentality. Repeat offender mentality. Some dudes witnessed when they were growing up, their father, their uncles have woman after woman after woman. They witnessed relationships where there was no fidelity. Infidelity was the norm. And so they also witnessed not just infidelity being the norm, but infidelity being protected. And so when they witnessed infidelity being protected, it almost became like the foundation in which they began to establish relationships. It's the way to go. It's the right way to go. It's the right way to be. It's the way that men are. And so if he has in his mindset this repeat offender mentality, then what you will probably have seen is a history of cheating in his relationships. He cheated with you. He cheated with the person before you. And he cheated with the person before that. But where does that come from? Again, it gets back into looking at these patterns of behavior. If they are repeated patterns of behavior of cheating in all of his relationships, that's a red flag. And the likelihood that he will cheat on you again is high too. And so what I'm saying is that it's not that these things can't be overcome. It's not that infidelity can't be fixed or it can't be worked through. Again, I've mentioned that we've helped hundreds of couples overcome infidelity. But I want to make you aware that if these things that I've lifted up today are on the table, are things that you're dealing with in your relationship right now, then the likelihood that he will cheat again is high. Take notes. Have a conversation. Trust and believe. I've sat with dudes who have said, I'm not cheating, I'm not cheating, I'm not cheating, I'm not cheating, I'm not cheating. Only to find out 3 months into working with them that they were cheating. They were cheating. I've worked with dudes who were cheating and then stopped cheating, stop cheating, stop cheating. but then got away from the process of what's really required in healing and went back to cheating because they stopped doing the work. One thing that I want to say is that it's not about you. This is his own personal journey. And my prayer is that he understands the impact of how he's moving, and that in order for him to not only heal individually, but heal the relationship, he's got to do his work. Got to do his work. Your job is to make sure you're establishing boundaries, honoring those boundaries, and make sure you're establishing clear expectations based off of some of the things that I lifted up. You're not out of order if you're asking for passwords, if you're asking for cell phone, passwords or cell phone access, if you're asking for his locate, you're not out of order, sis. You're not. Again, this right here is about him getting in position, getting in alignment with right relationship values, and stop moving from a place of it's all about him, individuality. This is about being inclusive. This is about honoring the relationship, honoring you and honoring himself, honoring his family. And so if you've heard any of these 10 things and you feel like I'm in a relationship and a marriage with a man who's doing all of them, it should be a red flag. A red flag for you to, if nothing else, at least have a conversation. Y'all can watch this video together, discuss and talk about it, or you can make a decision to do something different and shift the way that you're moving in your relationship. It's completely up to you. If you want support and help in overcoming infidelity, my wife and I, we can definitely help. And we look forward to supporting you on your journey to healing, to overcoming, and to becoming the best couple, the best husband and wife team, the best relationship, having the best relationship that you can absolutely have. All right, fam. Please like, please subscribe, and please share, and please comment. You may agree, you may disagree. I'm sharing with you based on my years of experience. This is what it looks like if somebody is about to cheat on you again, or is still cheating on you. Like it or love it, like it or not, it is what it is. All right, fam. Peace.